What's up, NinBuzz, and welcome back for another episode of Community Choice. As always, I'm your host, RedFalconGames, and last week I showed you guys the top 5 results for what is your favorite Pokemon type, and this week I'm going to be covering NinBuzz's favorite Nintendo console. So right off the bat, I just want to thank you all who commented on the last video. We got over 2,000, which is my goal, and we got over 2,500, which is a new record for comments on a NinBuzz video, so that's pretty awesome, guys. So I'm really happy about that, but right now I'm going to show you guys what your top 5 is for what is your favorite Nintendo console. In 5th place with only 6% of the votes was the Nintendo Entertainment System, also known as the NES, the first console from Nintendo. I'm kind of surprised that this got last place, but at the same time, I know that no one really grew up with the NES that is watching this video, so it's kind of tough. I mean, they made some great games back then, but if you go back and play them right now, they just don't compare to the newer ones. So I can understand why that one got last place. Now in 4th, going in chronological order here, was the Super Nintendo, also known as the SNES. I'm also not very surprised that this got 4th place, just because it was such an old console, so no one really played it that much. You know what I'm talking about? It's tough. SNES had some great games as well as the NES, but to the newer 3-generation consoles, it's really tough to compare to these new games with the great graphics. I do like these consoles, but I can understand why they got 4th and 5th. So now is when it got close. The Nintendo 64, the GameCube, and the Wii remain. And the 3rd place goes to the Nintendo Wii. I applaud Nintendo with the Wii because it just attracted such a large audience. It made so many sales. I remember when it first came out, everyone was going nuts over it. It was such a fun console, but at the same time, it just didn't create the games, in my opinion, that GameCube and Nintendo 64 did. Those great games that made you want to play the system. I also really enjoy the virtual console feature that allows you to play these first 4-generation games, which is awesome, but to an extent that you have to pay for them again, and you know, it's just tough. So I do agree with the Wii in 3rd place. These next 2 consoles are my favorite. In 2nd place was the Nintendo 64. Now I have to admit, I'm pretty biased towards this console because this is the one I grew up with. I played Paper Mario and Mario Party on this thing so much. So I really enjoy Nintendo 64. It's my favorite console. I think it brought so many great titles to the table. So many awesome franchises started at the Nintendo 64. And I am so glad to have it. It's sitting right in front of me right now. I was just playing Paper Mario. But I really do enjoy the Nintendo 64. So that's great that it got 31% of the votes. So now, no need for a drum roll. No surprise here. The GameCube gets first with 33% of the votes, just edging off the Nintendo 64 by a little bit. And I agree with this choice too. The GameCube is an awesome console. I think the GameCube, out of all Nintendo consoles, had the greatest games, in my opinion. It had so many amazing Mario games. I couldn't even take it. Some Zelda games were great on that too. It's just an amazing console. The graphics step up for the Nintendo 64 was immaculate. They did an amazing job. I love the GameCube today, and I'll still play GameCube games. It just keeps me coming back for more. Great choice, guys, for the number 1 with GameCube. So I hope you guys enjoyed those results. Thank you guys for voting again, and I have next week's question right here, so I'm going to go ahead and reveal it right now. Next week's question will be, what is your favorite Zelda game? Now this is a very broad question. I know there's a lot of Zelda games, so I expect a lot of votes for this one, guys. I'm really excited to see what your favorite Zelda game is. I think it's a great question, to be honest. I hope you guys all vote. On a side note, guys, I need some ideas for questions. So what you can do is vote for your favorite Zelda game. Then in a separate comment, suggest a question that I can ask in the next week. Or if you really want to and you think your question's the best, go ahead to my personal channel and PM me and tell me what question you think I should use in the next part of Community Choice on NinBuzz. Remember, this show is all about you guys. You ask the questions, you answer them. I'm just here to show the results. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, please give a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. And remember to vote for your favorite Zelda game in the comments. And I'll see you guys next week.